I have been on a streak and a half right now. I just got a 3K payout this morning from Top Step. Started the
Ooh.
day off on a high note.
Wow. You're back with Top Step then?
Yeah, I've been trading them a little risky.
Nice.
Riskier.
Nice. Oh, good. Yeah, I got a top one futures payout yesterday locked in. So that was
Very
pretty
nice.
good. Got another one, maybe next week after, maybe another top one futures payout as well. Got another account. It's kind of like with the way I work my accounts, it's like they're slow and steady, but then once they all start getting to a payout, it's like one after another. It was like that in February this year. It's kind of coming to that point at the moment, but there's many of them now getting towards payout. The straight to funded accounts anyway. So that's pretty sweet.
Another question here. Yes, I prefer 25K accounts. The reason I sized up to 50K is because I've been liking a little bit more drawdown. I still risk about the same. 25Ks is where I got my start though. I traded pretty much all the payouts I've gotten this year minus, I do it real quick in my head, hold on, 18,000. So of the 112,000 I'm at so far, 18,000 were from 50K accounts. So whatever the leftover 96,000 has been from 25K accounts. The majority
only
of it
18,000. Only 18,000 though. Like, that's such a small amount, isn't it? only 18,000.
Yeah,
that's awesome, mate.
I want to. So now that you're on here, I want to, if you don't mind, share your screen. I want to compare our P&L charts to see how similar, because I've been trading the IB25 a fair bit recently. Yours will be off a little bit because you don't have, I don't think you trade Globex in Asia. You're asleep for that, but you could get away with trading London IB. So I'll pull mine up real quick again. This is my P&L chart for June so far. 2 losing days, 67 and 30. And this is all from the IB.
Yeah.
Most of it's from the IB. Some of the trades I did send a little bit.
Yeah. The thing is, because you're trading multiple IBs, you're gonna get an entry.
I'm getting like 4 trades a day.
Yeah.
3 or 4 trades a day sometimes.
For me, it's different because I'm only trading the New York IB. It's kind of I don't get as many opportunities, as many sort of entries. This is June. Like June is ridiculous. Like June is like last week was just like, it was such a hard week. Like on the surface of last week, you would look at that and go, "Whoa, Dan is like cool as a cucumber."
Yeah, Tuesday and Thursday,
like, chilled. But the volatility was crazy. But it was hard. Don't get. I'm not gonna lie and say, "Oh yeah," just the discipline was super easy. It was so easy to stay out. It wasn't, but the volatility just wouldn't let me in. Could I have switched to MES and traded that? Maybe, but for me at the moment, I'm just comfortable with MNQ, and the volatility was just too crazy. And I said on my social media on that Friday the 12th, like I was feeling FOMO. It was like I was going into Friday thinking I have to take a trade, and so I decided not to trade at all on the Friday. I just took the day off because I just thought I am going to jump in. And looking back at the volatility, I looked at it later in the evening and I saw the candles. I was like, whoa, that was like a crazy day. So it made me feel good to sort of skip
Friday. I got lucky for the first time. I sized up. Sadly, I almost tilted a little bit, but I finally got lucky enough to catch a news candle from Trump.
That's good. Oh yeah, there was one, wasn't it? It went like this, and then it literally just shot up, didn't it? And went to the IB high. It was like
240 points in 3 minutes, and I caught it.
That's crazy.
I was down 180, I think maybe 200, and I think I peaked at like 400 red, and I was like, oh boy. And then Trump, I looked away, looked back at the screen, the candle just went.
Yeah, that's good. But if I look back at, if I show you May, this is May for me with the New York IB. So a few more trades in May. Sadly, the only loss in May. I mean, I say sadly. I'm very, very, very happy to only take one loss in a month. I'm expecting usually in a month about 2 or 3 losses. I would say that's what I expect. You know, if I get 2 or 3 losses, it's nothing unusual for me. 4 or 5, still nothing unusual for my win rate, you know, that I have.
Yeah.
But I've been very, very fortunate that in April I had a few, but then May was just solid month, to be fair. The only loss was on the stream a month or so ago. And then June has just been great, but difficult at the same time last week with the volatility. So, but if I traded Globex, traded Asia, traded New York like you do, probably be getting some more sort of opportunities.
That's what I've been saying to Andre. Globex and Asia has been, honestly, the data for those two has been marginally better than trading New York. Because it's still, the volatility is still there, but the range, instead of having a 500-point range during New York, we're having a 150 to 200-point range during Asia. So it's still catching a 100-point trade, and you get 2 of them back to back. So from 6 to 9 o'clock, or really 7 to 9 o'clock in 2 hours, I get 2 trades. So last night I did.
What time is it for you? The Globex in Asia.
6 o'clock and 8 o'clock.
Okay.
I go to bed about 9:30. So I get both of them. Last night these were my 2 trades. It's the same model though, so nothing's different. The only difference is that you have to get out at 8 o'clock before Asia starts, because sometimes they don't line up with each other.
Okay.
I see all the questions in the chat. I'm not ignoring these guys. Right now we are diverged on SPY and Qs. I anticipate SPY is probably going to go make a new high in the next 20 minutes. I don't think they're going to be diverged for long, but if they are diverged, edgeful AI, diverged IB, the script for it is for the initial bounce on NQ and ES, when NQ is indicating a break of the high should occur, while ES is indicating a break of the low should occur, where the stats for the initial bounce playing out correctly for both assets. 17% chance they play out correctly. So the way that we play diverged IBs is we wait for one of them to break, and whichever one breaks correctly, the other one should break incorrectly. So if QQQ is signaling an upside break and we go and break the low on SPY, QQQ will be the one that's incorrect, and we'd be anticipating a drop to the IB low. And vice versa for SPY. If SPY is the one that plays out incorrectly, we're just inversing this. So QQQ going and taking the high, SPY will go and take the high as well, even though it's indicating a low break. We do still have 20 minutes left, and SPY is only 40 cents off taking a new high. With that wick that we just made, it was only 20 cents. I don't think it's going to hang out down here. We have the inside bar stat intact as well. So how close it is, I don't think it's going to not go and break that.
What's the inside bars? Oh god, the stats are so good for inside bars, aren't they? So good. That's crazy. That is crazy. 90% on MNQ today. Oh, 90% in general, 94% based on the weekday. That is a stat and a half. That is awesome. I do love this though. I love it where the IB high and the previous session high are sort of fairly close together. 2 targets for the price of one.
Yeah, I love the added confluence from, I think it was 98% today for the inside bar playing out. NQ inside bar 95% that we go and break previous day's high. 94% by weekday, 93% opening within previous day's range on RTY, YM. 90% plus across the board on inside bars for all the what's in play stats. So we have the IB high and the inside bar that will be pulling us to the upside.
Is it slightly different for NQ and MNQ? Because my stats are you looking at
slippage? I just went to the what's in play.
Yeah, I'm on the what's in play as well. That's what I'm looking at.
There's slippage on MNQ and NQ.
Okay.
So Makes NQ sense. Will be off by a few percentage points.
Okay.
I avoid that by going to Qs and looking at inside bars. Just the regular stat. We have a 88% stat to go and break previous day's high or low. given that we're $1.50 away from previous day's high, we got 50 cents away at today's high today. It's probably going to go and break previous day's high.
Yeah.
I no longer, and we'll see what you think about this, I no longer enter prior to 10:30 on the IB. There's no more front running for me because of how important the IB closing zone is. I always have to pull up 2 years for this. So this kind of validates what you do with the 25 when we close the IB above IB 25 for today's instance. If we close over 743.42, but obviously under the IB high, we have 85 and 92%. So the exchange here is that you're not getting as much of a reward, but you're getting more consistent entries that should go and take the high. On the flip side of that, if we close even underneath the midpoint, 50 to 75%, the stats for the IB playing out, you're actually favored to go in the incorrect direction for both of them.
Which zone is that? 50 to 75, yeah.
Yep. So replicate over to the chart. If we close in this, you know what? I'm actually going to make it, because this is so fitting. I'm going to get rid of the middle line. If we close in this gray area, no entry on the IB.
Yeah.
This is no man's land because the stats are as close to 50-50 as they can get. As soon as you get underneath 75% of the IB, you go back up to 90%, just about 82 and 88, that you go and take out the incorrect level, meaning that we would go and take that low.
Yeah.
So over the midpoint, you're good to take it to the high. Under the midpoint, no entry. Under 75, you take it to the low. And that's all backed by the data.
That makes sense, doesn't it?
Way up here. With that data, you could arguably move your stop a little bit higher than 70. You could put it at like 742.07 IB 60, IB 65.
Could do.
I know you never really let your trades run that low, but
no.
This is
yesterday though was a perfect example why I don't put the stop though at IB 50.
Yeah, that would
like if you just pull up my chart from yesterday. This is exactly why I don't put the stop and hug it too tight for my strategy for the IB25, because if I'm entering here, for example, I'm liking the trade. The stats are super high. We've closed between the 0 and 25% zone. So we've got those really strong stats in play, haven't we? Yeah. And if I place my stop here, look at that. I'd have got wicked out just by a little wick, and then it would have gone in my favor. And that's where
I don't know why I said that. I put my stop loss at the 75 too, regardless of where it is.
I know what you mean.
At IB 30, 28, something like that. So just marginally, if you drag it down, maybe like 30.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like 20
so
points,
something like this then. So if you're saying instead of IB 75, could even just put it like maybe like on the low there.
Yeah. But I don't know why I said that. I leave my stop loss at IB 75 too, and if it hits my stop loss, I pivot it to be short. Yeah. For everyone in chat or watching right now, saying what the heck is this for the IB today? This is your beloved Tuesday tease, where we get terrible data for a Tuesday.
Yeah. It's like the one day of the week I'm on stream. And it's like literally the worst price action possible for the IB. But it's,
but then we get to chat about the wins for the rest of the week.
For sure.
Everyone goes and follows us for the rest of the week. I do have an updated model, Updated course, Sean. Tuesday graveyard, I like that. The Tuesday Lawson IB. Is IB in your name because you trade it, or was that just a coincidence? Awesome. That'd be cool if you put IB in your name because you like it so much. Would we be looking for shorts here if we get below IB 50? No. We, with how diverged this is right now, we may not get anything. We need to make a new low in the next 10 minutes, I think. Which kind of stinks because we missed the inside bar high by 50 cents. And then on SPY, we missed it by $2.
What is it?
So we're so
30 points.
Today.
30 points from the high of the day to go to previous session high.
There's a question for you, Dan. Right there.
Question to Dan. You mentioned you target $150. So what if the IB break is not $150? Do you increase size or target higher, lower? It depends, really. Like if I look at today, that's someone who's watched my latest YouTube video from the weekend. So well done to you for watching it. But if I'm looking at this here with the previous session high, say if here, like look at this right now, this if I place a buy limit order here, $150 would be just a bit above. So I probably on this day would maybe have my target something like that, maybe like $160, because I'm copy trading loads of accounts, and sometimes based on the fill, I need to give it a little bit more than $150 to get my minimum day on my accounts. And I would probably aim for something like that, especially with us having the previous session high above. With that extra pull above, I'm happy to just give it a little bit more room for it to run above the IB high. But you know, I remember, was it last Tuesday or the Tuesday before, we took a trade on stream and I closed the trade for below $150. Yes, I didn't get my minimum day, but I got money added to my balance, you know, ready to take the payouts when I do get my 5 minimum days. So for me, it just depends day by day, you know. So yeah. Oh, here we go. That's a low.
We got a new IB low. This kind of sucks either way, because we did form a new IB low, but the stats for a Tuesday forming the IB high first. And this isn't a small data set as well. This is 14 Tuesdays, sorry, 14 and 12. This is basically 50-50. So of the 12, you have 7 wins and 5 losses for the high forming first. And last Tuesday was one of the wins. My 2 cents on what that guy just asked, if it's not 150, I'm assuming you aim for 150 because that's the minimum profit requirement for Top Step and Tradeify and
correct
most other accounts. There are more than enough ways to get around that. So I hate accounts that require you to make a minimum profit. Outright hate them. If you do not want to target, but in a live account, there's no requirement for minimum profit on the day. If you're a person that does not like me, who does not like being told how much you're supposed to make on the day for it to qualify as a winning day, Top Step, for instance, they have the DLL accounts with consistency. You don't have to add the DLL if you don't want to, but consistency takes away the minimum profit requirement. Lucid Pros versus Lucid Flex. That's why I always recommend the Lucid Pro account, because there's no minimum profit requirement. And then your Tradeify Select versus the Tradeify Growth. If you go with the Tradeify Select Daily, there's no minimum profit requirement. You just make what you make. And that contributes to your balance on your account. But I really don't like, if I make 140 on the day, I'm going to be really inclined to go for another $10 and going for that $10. I bet a lot of people have blown their profit or blown the accounts from that for the day. I would probably do it too. I've gone for $20 before and end up blowing an account. Eval, that is.
Yeah.
So there's many ways you can get around the 150. Not saying you have to, but if you don't like the 150 profit for the day, you can manipulate the account you're trading. What do you think here, Dan?
Yeah, I was tempted to jump in a few minutes ago, but I decided not to, just because that candle down was so strong. It was just like,
you would have had a little strong. You need a little tick to the upside to get in.
Yeah, I would have had a little tick, and it would have. Yeah, if I got in, but it's. The thing is, with that bit, such a big move lower, it can easily just pop back. That VWAP is so high. It's so high. So I'd almost have to use the IB50 as an invalidation level.
Yeah.
and I don't really want to do that. I mean, ideally, if I was going to do anything today, I'd like to get in at that level, because this at the moment is just going lower a lot at the moment, and the VWAP's too high for me at the moment. So yeah, could have scalped a little IB25 there, but it's a bit early. I'm trying to be a little bit more patient. I'm trying to be a bit patient.
Well, we have, I think we formed the high last, let's see. Yeah, we formed the high last week, but we also closed in 0 to 25, so it altered the data a little bit. You just would have to go to even last month, 519, when you were on stream for this. I remember we formed the high first. High still broke first, even though we closed below 25%.
Yeah, it was a crazy day. Yeah, that was my only loss, wasn't it, in May? It's just a bizarre trade. That's trading, isn't it? It's going to happen like that sometimes.
We should definitely be going towards previous day's low now. Probably on SPY. SPY is still pretty far from previous. I didn't realize how big of a range SPY made yesterday. It was a 24-point IB, and then we made an additional 32-point move after the IB broke to 1 full standard deviation. Will I suggest the select flex or select daily? Select daily doesn't have the minimum profit requirement. Select flex is larger payouts, but I think the minimum profit requirement is 150 or 200. I always go for a 25K. I like the growth accounts. I know those ones kind of contradicts the point that I was making, but I like those for the 1 day to pass. The select accounts, it kind of sucks having to trade for 3 days in the eval with consistency. You gonna get your entry, Dan?
I'm delaying. I may. Problem is though, is that's quite May.
It's a lot. $433. That's a big range.
It's a lot. It's a lot for me. It's a lot. But I could always place 1 micro and just put the profit maybe towards the previous session. I mean, at the moment, it's looking more likely to go there than anywhere at the moment. But I'm gonna wait for a minute, see what it does here. But I'm thinking something like that.
Yeah, 215-point range right now.
Yeah. Be 108. I'm tempted here.
I could. 210 points I would risk if we get an IB 50 entry, that is. I'd be risking 200 to make 400. I'll trade on SPY today. I think SPY stats are a little bit better for Tuesday anyway.
Yeah.
Come over to the dark side, Dan. Yeah, SPY's
well,
looking
IB
at
50.
83%. No, the MES.
Oh, MES.
Yeah, MES is looking at 83%. Let me pull this up real quick. So the difference, and this is crazy stats: 12 highs form first, 5 losses, 7 wins. SPY, on the other hand, 2 losses, 10 wins. And we've been on stream for 4 of these, by the way. It's not like it's a low data point. It happened the first stream I think you came on here. My code for Lucid, John, is code Zinc. Code Zinc for everything. I have my funded futures, Lucid, and TradeFi.
I'm gonna put a sell limit at IB25 on MES because it just gives me a better risk. It's just a better risk for me.
You going in with 5 micros?
5 micros, yeah. 5 micros. So a bit more with MES, isn't it, compared to MNQ, but it'll just it just gives me better risk. But look at this though. It just keeps. I need it to come back.
I make contracts that I trade on MES. Everything's the same, funny enough. So MES, I try to risk about 120 per trade. As long as I'm still in the drawdown period, I have another 700 to make, and then I can start sizing up. It's not case sensitive, John. No, I risk the same amount regardless of the trade that I'm taking. So if you want to risk 200 to keep it simple, that's 100 points on 1 micro for M and Q, or that's 20 points on 2 micros for MES. So for the range that we have right now, like what Dan's looking at, he wants to try to make 150. He has to get it into a 5 micro position off of IB25 for that. Because it's only 6 points from the range. Same exact range as yesterday, isn't it? 24.
Yeah. So much better though compared to last week. With the range is just so massive, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's much better.
Crazy.
I guess we do still have that massive. I wonder how many people got rolled over because of this. We still have this massive new week opening gap to fill. Took IB25 QQQ options for 35%. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, we have a massive gap. 723.40. All the way down. Sunday's Globex open.
It's not going to break our heart, is it? And break the IB low. Just
30 seconds.
The last minute, 30 seconds. It needs to pop back up.
Imagine if it breaks the high today. Just on Qs, though. SPY goes and breaks the low.
Okay.
And QQQ says, psych, I'm going to go and break the IB high and inside bar high.
Yeah. Crazy things have happened.
We did get the gap fill by 20 cents. So the gap fill stat was validated. And then we just went off the deep end. Don't say that. It's happened before.
Here we go. And broke it.
And we actually, it's the first time I've ever seen that happen. We closed underneath the IB. That candle just opened underneath the IB low on SPY.
Jeez, we've melted here. Melted.
10:30 in maybe a second. So we should be going towards previous day's low if you wanted to take that trade. That would also line up with the 0.3 extension on the IB. 0.25, 0.3. Not really anything we can do about that. It just immediate price action to the low. I don't know what I was trying to say there.
Yeah.
If you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure you drop a like, subscribe even. We do this every Tuesday. We got to find a new title for it. The IB gang. The IB bros.
Oh no. IB gang. I like that one.
IB gang.
Yeah. On reflection, could have had a couple of opportunities for the IB25 quick scalp, but it's always one of those where if it just pops
A little bit.
and then it goes back to VWAP here and I'm deep in drawdown, I'll just be thinking to myself, why didn't I wait? Because VWAP was so far away. Like my best trades are the one where VWAP is,
right
close to price. Yeah, hugging it. The ones where basically, say if this was VWAP and it was coming like this, something like that,
would be a lot better.
Would be that for me, that's like A+.
Isn't it funny how the VWAP is always at 50% of the IB?
I've been I caught
him, guys. I got him.
You're not the only one. I've been looking into it. I've been playing around with like a VWAP sort of model where the entries are sort of more closer to VWAP or more sort of near VWAP rather than the IB25. So I've been playing around with it a little bit, but it's still a bit of work I need to do. But you are right though. You are right. It's a hell of a good entry.
We still have a ways to go in SPY technically. Now that QQQ has already broken, QQQ just took previous day's low. This was a 98% stat today, which is crazy high. It's not 98% that you're going to target previous day's low. I want to make that very transparent. It's 98% that you're going to break previous day's range. So we don't know while the market's moving. We don't know if it's going to go to the high or low. We just know that it should go and break previous day's low or previous day's high 98% of the time on a Tuesday. This is an example of manipulating the stats to your benefit. You can go into edgeful AI and you can go into diverged IBs. Funny enough, same abbreviation as the IB. It's diverge inside bars. When NQ or ES is bearish, so for today, NQ broke previous day's low. We only have an 8% previous day's low, sorry. We have a 15% stat that ES will not go and break previous day's low today. So if you want to take an additional trade, find an entry to get down to previous day's low on SPY, which is 751.76. We are 60 cents off right now, $1 off, which is 10 points. Pretty big range for ES. The crazy part is that we only missed previous day's high by 15 points on NQ, and then we went and took the low.
Yeah.
IB25 TP on NQ, very nice.
Yeah.
How do you? Well, this is a question for you because I struggle with these days too. How do you handle the days where the model prints really well, but the sizing is just too much for you to get in?
Yeah.
So NQ looked a little bit better, but to me, and I think it's the same for you too, taking on one micro, having to risk $400 is way too much. It's too icky.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you do
for me
like this? Just kind of tip your hat to it.
Yeah, I think for days like that, because I think on M&Q it was 2 micros for 400, and it was like 1 micro for my stop loss for my risk today. It was like 1 micro for like only like $200 risks. So I'm gonna have to make my TP further away past IB low, which would have been not great because it's one of those where I don't really want to hold the trade massively down past IB low, because we know what happens once the IB low is taken. It'll just reverse and goes back up, doesn't it? So it's one of those where I'll probably just more likely sit out of it. Yeah. I will probably sit out of it. That's probably what I will do. And that's exactly what I did last week. That's what I did. It was just very, very frustrating. I suppose the middle ground is what I'm trying to do there today, is go on MES and maybe look to take a trade there, maybe, because you can get, it's easier with MES, isn't it? Compared to MNQ, but
I see this question from Sean. The way to beat that's with a larger account size where you have actual drawdown to take it. The point that I'm making there is that there will always be instances where the drawdown's too much for you to take the trade. Like what we had Sunday, what we had Friday. This range from the midpoint on Friday, the whole range of the IB on Friday was 500 points. So the range from the midpoint was 250. That's $500 on 1 micro. There's not many accounts that you can trade, prop accounts that you can trade that allow you to take that risk on one singular micro. That's when you just swap over to MES. I don't think the answer is sizing up an account, because then you also have to make more and you have to have multiple days of this size, or you have to start sizing into 2 micros on MNQ, 3 micros on MNQ, where you don't really need to. That's another reason that I always recommend the 25K accounts as well, because making money trading, it does not matter how good you are at sizing or scaling with the accounts. If you see $500 on your screen, so let's say you're trading 150K account, your minimum profit requirement to get a payout, I think, is 9K on a top step 150. Is that correct, Dan? You know?
Say that again?
Is the minimum profit requirement is 9,000, I believe. So to pass the eval and get qualified for a payout on top step.
On 150K?
Yep.
Yeah, 9,000. It is with all firms, isn't it? I think every firm is 150K, 9,000.
It's about, I think the lowest one's maybe 7,000. I know for a fact that Lucid is 9,000.
Yeah.
It's really freaking hard to make $9,000.
Yeah.
Even if you scale it perfectly, even if you're sizing up with 5 micros and you're taking the same trade and you're taking the same stop loss, the accounts size up, but the drawdown doesn't size up to 9,000. This drawdown still stays at 4,500.
I think as well for me, I think I always went for 50Ks instead of 150Ks, because when you look at the amount you can actually take out as a payout, there's not that much difference.
Scale that way.
Do you know what I mean? You're paying more money for the account, and yet when it comes to payout, you can't take that much more out of it than the 50K. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of those where, yeah, I think 50Ks are good. I'm thinking of buying some 25Ks in July, just sort of, because I think my risk parameters sort of allow that. When I'm looking at 100, yeah, well, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, well, I'm trying to get $150 on a 25K account. I'm still, it's more aggressive than a 50K, but still, it gives me a lot of wiggle room, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? And then after only what was it, $1,200 or something like that, you can take a payout.
From eval to max payout, it's 3,350 is what you have to make.
Yeah. But on an instant funded.
Tradeify, I think it's instant funded. Yeah. The consistency.
Yeah.
So I saw this comment here. ES coming back to 25%. I don't trade the retracement back into the IB. For the data today, we had a breakdown. So we had a 57% stat that we go back to 20%, 42% stat we go to 30%, and then 28% stat that we go to 50%. There's not a lot of data points here. It's 10 and 7. I don't take an additional trades after the IB is broken because the stats are all very low. And this is a big misconception with the IB. Your highest stat for IB by level is the 10%. 0.5 extension, we only have a 50% chance and a 60% stat. That's all weekdays, by the way. For the break, this does not, when we retrace back up, this is not saying that we're going to go back to the IB low. This is just saying these are our stats for retracing back to that level. Now, there's plenty of examples. Friday's a great example of this. We broke the IB, and what happened after that? We did not move more than $1 for the remaining 4 hours of the day. After we did hit the 0.5 standard deviation, but after 11:30, we did not move more than $1 for the rest of the day on SPY. It stayed within that same range. Typically, this is what happened after the IB breaks, unless you have news. It stays within the IB range. Sometimes you have these continuations down, and if there's news that comes out, especially that overweighs all the other aspects of the data. This is a brutal example of what happens when you try playing the retracement and then you play a break to the long or upside again, and it just chops and ends up taking a new IB low at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I don't take any additional trades. We took previous day's low. That's a big area of consolidation or a big area for us to bounce. I think for the most part, price is probably done for the day. I don't anticipate us having a continuation. I think that this is probably tapped out. IB's done. Tuesday is not really that good of data for us to play. Today just didn't have a pullback for us to get in, unfortunately.
I can answer that question on the daily account there. Someone's asking, can you explain the select daily, please? Because I've got two.
Slap your code in there too.
Two Tradeify select dailies. You need to get a buffer on the daily accounts of $2,100. So if you're choosing the daily, you pass the select challenge and you choose the daily option, you have to get to $2,100. You have to build that buffer before you can take any payout whatsoever. And then once you have $2,100, take it slow, be patient. You can get some consistent payouts there, daily payouts, which is great. So your main task is to build it to the $2,100 buffer. So
look at this reversal. Could you imagine if that happened if this was the IB low, that previous day's low on NQ or SPY.
Yeah.
How upset would you be if the one day you flip the SPY and this happens?
Yeah.
Take the IB low and Qs and then SPY reverses
it's trading, isn't it? It's one of those where you've got to be okay. You've got to be okay with whatever happens. For me, it's just like, it's one of those where, you know what, in the past, I would see the IB25 trade. I may have had it 10.20, 10.25 today, and I missed it. And it'd be like, the temptation to get back in would be killing me right now. Be killing me. But then I look at the edgeful stats and I see the stats for Tuesday and I see how far VWAP is away. And I'm looking at all of that put together and I'm thinking to myself, you know, it's okay. It's okay to miss. What is that?
Tuesdays are the worst days of the week for a double break on the IB for Qs and SPY. We have, and I know it's not very high in comparison to a 50-50 stat, but 35%, 9 out of the past 26 Tuesdays we've had a double break on ES. It should go down to previous day's low. I think that should be the overshadowing data point for today. Just don't be surprised if we somehow, some way find our way back up to 756. But that would be a very rare occurrence if we do. We have a 85% stat that we go to previous day's low for the diverged inside bars. Since QQQ already took previous day's low, SPY will do so 85% of the time as well.
I would say longs at the moment. I'm struggling to see a case for longs at the moment. If you look at NVDA is down 1.5%, sliding. VWAP is slanting lower. We're very close to previous session low. Apart from these candles here at the start, you know, we've not had much candles above the VWAP from a VWAP perspective. I think if you desperately need to take a trade today, I'd say shorts at the moment, the only option for me personally.
Shorts the previous day's low.
Yeah.
How much do you risk on evals? So this is not a very popular opinion. I do it because I have the payouts to be able to, I have the money to be able to put back into the evals. Not saying that you should churn them like that. I like to pass the evals in 1 day, 2 days if I can. And so the first trade that I take, if I'm trading the 25K pros, I'll risk $1,000 to make 1250 because that's what you need to pass it. But the same trade, I traded the IB. Today, I wouldn't have taken it. So today it's not something that you want to force trying to pass accounts on. Yesterday would have been your perfect day to pass an account. You take your entry at IB 50, stop loss at IB 75, so you're risking 500 to pass the account. And then you do end up passing it at 1045. And you can trade it the next day. So I risk whatever. Aside from the TradeFi gross, I will not risk like 3 minis on those to try and pass it in 1 day. I will take repeated 4 micro trades, 5 micro trades. So I'll trade more into the afternoon to try to pass them. It's still all the same setup though. If we have a bullish IB, price action's directionally bullish, I'm only going to take longs. It's not like I'm trying to catch every single move. I go long with 2 minis, then I go short with 2 minis on the very next candle, then I go back long, then I go back short. So what I like to do for evals, in particular the 25K pros, I like to risk on the first trade that I take. I like to risk $500, half the drawdown, to make 1250 to pass the account. You get that by entering at the IB 50. Stop loss IB 75, TP IB high or IB low, depending on the target you're looking for. That is what I like to do. What about you, Dan?
Well, because I'm doing everything on a trade copier, I just ×2 risk on my trade copier. So if I'm risking $150 on an eval, it'll be $300. So gotcha. I still take the evaluation slow. Like the top step challenge that I passed a month or so ago, I think I passed that in a month. took a month to pass. But I was okay with leaving it for a month to pass. It was just quietly copy trading in the background. I didn't need to pass it too quickly. So I'm sort of less aggressive with the evals, but I completely get why you approached it the way you do, of course. You know, I think you earn your right to be more aggressive with the evals. I think if you've never passed an evaluation before, or you've only passed like one, or you haven't got a lot of money in general, I think being aggressive with the evaluations is just a sure way just to burn through cash. You know, and if you're, the thing is, it's one of those where if you're coming on this stream every single day and you're watching Zinc or myself or James or anyone trading, and you're seeing repeatable, consistent strategies, and you're taking inspiration from that and carrying out those strategies or adding your little spin onto it, like we know, you know, a lot of the, you know, people in this chat do for the IB, and you're consistent, you're patient with it, you will pass your evaluation. If you're patient with it and you take your time, you really will. But if you're just looking to burn through it, you're going to burn through loads of cash. You don't want to get to the point where you become consistent, you become profitable, which you will if you have that consistent strategy in place. But you don't want to get to that point and you've burned $20,000 in challenges, you know, $30,000 in challenges, you know.
Going on that point as well, there are 10 different accounts you can buy that have a one-time payout, one-time payment. Sorry, not one-time payout. You can get the Lucid Flex, Lucid Pro, Lightning funded accounts if you want to. Those cost more, obviously. Tradify Growth, Tradify, any of the Tradify accounts, any of the Lucid accounts. I don't use them personally, but I know Buell Knox and Blue Sky also have one-time payments. And all the accounts that they have, you don't need to worry about recurring bills. If you are just starting trading, this comment right here, 1 to 2 micros can take you 2 months to pass an account. There's no one rushing you. You are on your own path. You do not compare to what I'm doing. Dan doesn't come in here and be like, oh, I'm only at 40K in payouts this year, I suck compared to him. Just like I go, oh, I'm only at 100 something payouts, I suck compared to some guy that's at 500K, and that guy sucks compared to someone that's at 500K. Everyone is on their own path. I am probably just a year ahead of you, Dan. Next year you'll be where I am, and I'll be at the guy that's at 200K in payouts, and the guy in front of me will be at 500K. This is a 6-year, 7-year journey that I'm on right now. So I've been trading for almost 7 years now. This isn't something that you're going to be able to replicate. But the same way that I started, unfortunately, when I started, there weren't accounts that had monthly recurring. So I was never able to, or there weren't accounts that were one-time payout, one-time payment. So I was never able to slowly build an account. You can go on Lucid, you can buy any of the 25Ks, any of the 50Ks, and you can pass it in 6 months if you want to. Or you can do the same thing on Tradify. You don't need to rush to pass the account. You don't need to worry about how long it takes you. Build confidence with the strategy. Like Pip Tees, he's in here. He started in, I want to say, November last year. He didn't get his payout until the end of December, so 2 months, which is still crazy. He got a payout in 2 months, but
that's crazy.
That's still 2 months that he didn't do anything. So don't compare yourself to anyone else. Don't try to keep up with what I'm doing. I don't try. If I try and do what someone else is doing, I'm going to churn $20,000 like Dan just said, getting to that point, because I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know what they're doing differently than what I'm doing, that they're doing that much better. So I'm not comparing myself to someone else.
Someone's asked, instead of evals, why not get the funded accounts directly? And that's where I like the direct funded accounts, because I like to just take it slow, take it steady with them. Like, you know, your concept, Zinc, scale horizontally. That's exactly what I do with the straight to funded accounts. I just buy loads of them, really small risk, take the time, and they will get to pay out with the IB model that we use. The only problem is if they are expensive. They are expensive, the straight to funded accounts. They're considerably more expensive than the evaluations. And I still think if you've never, ever taking a payout or passing evaluation, I still think you should go for a 25K evaluation. Forget about the instant fundeds if you've never taken a evaluation, payout before.
If you're just starting to, I wouldn't. The instant fundeds are 3 times as much as an eval. So if you're just starting out, don't buy an instant funded, because you're gonna blow accounts. There's no getting around that. You can buy 3 evals for the price of 1 instant funded. I'm not a fan of the instant fundeds because of the 20% consistency. That's the only reason. So they require you to trade for 5 days off the bat. That's the only reason I don't like them. But everything else is in line with what you were saying.
Yeah. See, for me, I don't mind. And that's the thing, is it? There's no right or wrong way of going about it, is it? It's just you've got to do what's right by you. But I just think
that's the wrong way to go. About
it. Of course. It's so funny, because I was thinking about this the other day. If someone comes on stream and they watch me and you, there will never be a time where you and me are going in the opposite direction. Really, will there? We're either both going to go short, we're both going to go long. Our bias is super clear. It's made in seconds, looking at previous sessions, highs and lows, looking at IB formation, and we've got our bias within seconds. ICT traders, you could go on one stream and one guy is going long and he's giving you 50 different reasons why his bias is long. You go on another stream and they got an ICT trader again going short with 1,000 different reasons why he's going short as well. So I think that's the beauty of the IB and what we're doing here. I think it's very simple. It's very clear. There's no argument about what direction we're going in. And it just keeps things super simple, doesn't it? I keep coming back to the point where I traded ICT and I was spending half an hour writing my daily bias in my journal, thinking I was doing the right thing, thinking, I'm being a professional trader here.
We've all been there.
I've got, half an hour. And then I was upset then when my trade lost. No wonder why.
This question right here. Someone please tell Andre to add VWAP stat at edgeful. Unfortunately, VWAP is too discretionary to add a stat on, so it cannot be done.
Yeah.
For days like this, you can see it on Dan's screen right now. VWAP is it's a pretty small slope. If you want to scroll back to Friday for me, Dan.
Yeah, sure. Friday. That's Monday. So I've got the new Apple Magic. I've got this, and nice. I'm getting used to using it at the moment. And I'm very clunky with it at the moment. Here we go.
So the difference there on Friday, it's the same slope, but what do you notice about the price? There's news too there, but we still made like a 300-point pop over VWAP and then came back down and retested it. The VWAP's too discretionary to make Andre has said this multiple times on stream. It's too discretionary to have a stat based on VWAP having price over, under, news candles, everything that you'd be trading based off of.
I tell you what, though, can we get a bit of appreciation for that IB25, though? Look at that. If you traded the IB25. Oh.
I had the IB40 on Friday.
IB40, yeah. So you were here, right? Something like that.
Yep. TP at high. I ended up catching 230 points.
Yeah, that is awesome. So you would have, if it came to the IB75, you would, if I understand your model correctly, you would wait for it to go down, come back up, catch the IB75 down to here, right?
I've actually been putting a additional sell stop order. So if I'm in one micro, I put 2 sell stops, so it immediately fills me short at IB75, and then my TP is at the low. So the way that I go about it is I put a sell stop. I put 2 sell stops at IB75. I put a buy limit. I think it's initially buy stop at the IB low.
Yeah.
And then I will put a buy stop at IB50 if I get filled at IB75.
Yeah. So the danger, I suppose, then with this strategy is if it goes to IB75, you get hit, and then it comes back up here, you take the loss. But your risk is quite small anyway, right? You would cut risk, this.
So it goes, if you remember my initial strategy, I entered at IB50 and the stop loss is 1-to-1. It's the same exact risk reward. The only difference is that now I'm playing the stats that it should go and break the low. So my first trade is like 1.6 to 2R, and my second trade is 1-to-1. Best case scenario on the day, I win the first one. Worst case scenario, I lose both. But even in the worst case scenario, it's the same as my initial stop loss was.
But this is a 1-to-1, no? This first one here. If your entry's IB40, stop loss IB75, that would be 1-to-1, right?
A little bit larger. IB33 would be 1-to-1 for the first trade.
Okay.
I think an IB40 entry makes it like 1.3.
Okay. Something like that. Oh yeah, I'm looking at VWAP. Yeah, my eyes always get attracted to VWAP. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So it's like I think it's 1.3 to 1.6 if it's an entry at IB40.
Yeah. Okay. And you know what you're saying though about the VWAP entry? I mean, look at that though.
Yeah, it's always at 50 though. It's always at the IB50.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was kicking myself. I'm gonna pull my screen back up. So I got a little eager in my trade yesterday. I got a little excited. I entered. I know I have the perfect P&L on here right now. I entered right there yesterday. So I was in a negative risk reward on that trade when all I had to do was wait for the IB50, and it would have been a 2-hour trade.
Look at you, negative risk to reward on a Monday, huh?
But you know what? The P&L says it's fine. It's fine.
What did you get? 114. Okay, yeah. Decent.
I'm not gonna take.
What's it like? How are your Lucid Lives looking now? They must be looking pretty damn healthy, right?
At 1,346.
That's
so I'm
nice.
at just about 7,500 in equity. I gotta get to 2,100, and then I'm gonna start taking daily payouts on them. So it'll be like $500. These are, I can go and request 1,240 right now, but it would close the account.
Oh, you'll have to do it on stream. You have to request them on stream when you.
The beautiful part is, so you ready for this? You can take 2 payouts a day if you wanted to.
Really?
Yeah, you have to be very precise with the request. You have to request it like a minute before 1 o'clock, and then you can request another one at 5:50 or 6 o'clock.
Sounds like a loophole.
Yeah, I know. So someone sent me. This isn't from my finding. Someone sent me this on Discord. No trade today, El Supremo. IB's done. I'm done. If you request at 1 o'clock, just before 1 o'clock, that's when they refresh the daily payouts, and then you can request again. So I could take 600 out and then another 600 out at 6 o'clock. It would still close the account, but it'd be cool to get 2 daily payouts.
What happens to the account after we withdraw the first payout and select daily? So when nothing happens to the account. You just you take the payout. It'll move yours. So say if you got the $2,100 buffer, you get $200 profit on a day. Take $200 profit. You back at your buffer 2,100 and you just go again. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Keep the account.
All right, well, that's it for today. We don't have anything else, unfortunately. If you guys enjoyed the stream, make sure to drop a like, subscribe. I think I just broke 5,000 subs on YouTube, so thank you all for that.
Nice.
Thank you, Warmex. Nothing today. We did have a phenomenal Globex last night. I know we still lost on it, but I was really happy with the read going into Asia Open. So break even on the day, $5 profit. So be it. On to tomorrow. What I will add in, guys, if you look at all the P&Ls on these accounts, anytime that we have a somewhat bad day, the next day is a banger. So lost 67 last Tuesday, made 134 on Wednesday. Lost 30, made 247. Look how lined up these profit days are too, by the way. I should only be trading Wednesday and Friday.
Wednesdays are good though, aren't they, for the IB? Like Wednesdays are
I'm like within $4 profit on a Wednesday. Wednesdays, the IB breaks like 92% of the time in the right direction for the past 6 months.
and it does it quick. Like the IB25, I found for me works very well on Wednesdays because it is like it retraces a little bit and then doesn't it quite quickly. So yeah,
very quickly. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We have a giveaway tomorrow. Have 5 edgeful subscriptions to give away tomorrow. Thank you, Dan, for being on again today. See you next Tuesday. I'll see you everyone tomorrow.
See you guys.